Everybody, Pete, Belinda, Pompey here for RE Solutions with this week's Tidbit Thursday. We're running a little late today. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's been a crazy
Playing with my
crazy
son's
week.
dragon.
Crazy week.
It has
You're playing
been
with
crazy.
He's a cool dragon. He's a
Yeah.
cool dragon. I'll give you that.
Well, anyway, today we are talking about the advantages of buying a home. Well, let's say that differently. Advantages for buyers and disadvantages for sellers, or vice versa, in buying a home or selling a home.
We're talking about
during the fall
time.
Fall time frame.
Yes.
Yes, there's a
fall time
difference.
real
There's a
estate.
difference in buying a home from the summer to the fall. So stay tuned. And we are back.
Awesome.
That awesome intro. You know, I made that intro. We need a new one though. That's old. So anyway, we got one person watching. Hey, who is it? Put your name in the comment, whoever you are. I won't shout you out unless you want me to. But anyway, today we're talking about those advantages and disadvantages. So I'll let Belinda or Pompey talk about it a little bit before we get into
Into the actual slide. So from a
because I gotta find the slides. Go ahead.
while Pete's searching for the slides,
We missed Denise.
there's always a pro and con to every situation, and a pro and con to either the buyer looking in fall, and a pro and con to a seller trying to decide to whether to sell in the fall. So it's never a bad time per se for either one.
Like we say, it's always a good time to buy or sell.
It's always a good time in real estate. It's just when can sometimes be more advantageous for you based on whether you're buying or selling.
Pompey's been using a lot of big words today.
So
I like it.
yeah.
So that's what we're going to dive into a little bit. So we came up with was it 4?
5.
5. We came up with 5 things that we're going to kind of play devil's advocate on, and for pros and cons for some of the different sides. And let's get started.
Okay. So the first
Competition.
first item is competition. So in competition, obviously, Belinda was saying before. Go ahead. wanna steal
In
your
the
thunder.
fall, and the winter,
Steal your
the
thunder.
competition tends to decrease because there are less buyers on the market. By this time in the fall, people have already started school. They're in the place that they want to be for the next season or so. And so there's less buyers. And with that, sometimes there's going to be we have a historically low inventory as far as homes go, and we still do. But with that less competition, you usually have a little bit more choice, and a little more time to think about it.
So that's the competition advantage for the buyers.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have more time. Well, and we get that today.
We get to that time later.
Sorry, I jumped ahead. But the less competition, they have more choice, and able to put out more offers.
Right.
It also tends to be with less competition. You sometimes can start going back to negotiating some of those deals.
Right. So the disadvantage for the seller would be that
They have
Well,
less negotiation power
because less individuals are out there looking at their properties.
because all your neighbors are selling as well.
Yes.
But I gotta
exactly.
say though, if your home is priced well and
Yes.
it looks good,
That's number 3.
sorry,
Slow down. Slow your roll, lady.
you're messing up my flow.
I know, but the competition also goes right into days on market, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, with less competition, the houses sit on the market a little bit longer during the fall.
Yes.
Traditionally, yeah.
Which tends to be a suffering point for sellers, but is definitely a pro for buyers, because unlike this summer or the last couple of years with this COVID pandemic and everything that happened during that time frame, buyers actually have an opportunity to sit and think on it. So they have that opportunity to look at a home, go home, think about it, and come back with an answer in a day or two,
And still negotiate.
and still be able to negotiate.
Because
Yeah.
obviously sellers do not want to keep their houses on the market too long, because if you start sitting longer, obviously they're paying for it. But the longer it sits on the market, the less interested people are going to be, because now they're thinking, what's wrong with the property that it's
Mhm.
been sitting on the market that long?
Well,
And
you
there
know,
may not be anything wrong with the property, right? It
goes
may
to that
be.
pricing it perfectly.
There you go.
Because
Transition.
if it's priced well, we're still getting multiple contracts offers on a home. And so sometimes, you know,
Well, we are getting multiple contracts that we're seeing on homes, but those homes are sometimes not only priced correctly, but almost priced mildly lower than what the median price is right now in San Antonio.
Which makes sense, because during the summer, the houses are usually priced either at or slightly higher
mhm.
than the median price, because there are more individuals looking for properties. So an advantage for the sellers there. But sellers need to understand that after school starts, individuals don't move as much. Right? Especially right after school starts and into the holidays.
At least those
So-
family members don't.
Right.
Individuals without families still run that.
Right.
They're still looking.
But the home prices do need to be adjusted for those time frames.
For
And it's the
where-
same thing we
And-
do for rentals, right?
Mhm.
I was gonna say, when we talk about adjusted too, we're not talking like huge adjustments. They're just sometimes just a couple $1,000s, or even a, you know,
Right.
50
Because
to
there's still
100
going
in
to
a
be
rental.
diehard individuals
Oh.
that are looking for a property to move into.
oh yeah,
Always.
But obviously, there are people out there that they love to troll on those just housing sites. And if they see something that they're like, oh, wow, that's a really nice
Mhm,
house and it's priced well, and they'll jump for it. You know?
Mhm.
So you just got to, I think it still needs to be adjusted. But there are some other advantages for both when it comes to.
Tax time.
Yep.
So from the buyer's perspective,
That was Belinda's.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. But go ahead.
I was going to say,
Go ahead.
he's teasing me.
from the
I-
buyer's perspective, at least they have the opportunity to get a tax break for the entire year, even though you didn't buy the house until September, October, November, third, fourth quarter. You still get the full year.
Mhm.
So that's a pretty good one. Negative for the seller is you paid for the full year now.
Well, some
you
of that's
still
going to get
get-
reimbursed back
right.
at closing. So.
Yeah, you still get a little bit of tax advantage on the seller side.
Plus,
because-
any maintenance or maintenance and updates you've done in the home to prep it for selling,
right.
that will come back. If you choose to use that as.
But we're not tax professionals, so
Yes.
talk to a tax professional for sure to find out about those advantages. The last one we have is time, which we're sitting at 8 minutes. So
All right. So
time.
it kind of goes with the competition that, like Pompey said, you sometimes have more time to think about a home and kind of browse and find the one that's just right for you. And then I think when sellers come into this understanding that their home may be on the market a little longer,
Yes.
as long as they're educated about it, they're well prepared.
And that's a good point. So a lot of this stuff right here needs to be told to the owners or the sellers by the real
Mhm.
estate agent, right?
Yes.
The individual that is listing them, because when you start putting a house on the market in the fall, it is totally different from when you start in the spring. So there are things that you may have to adjust, price, and let them know that it's probably going to sit on the market a little bit longer, and so on and so forth, and get them ready and educate them on that, because a lot of them would just see, oh, the house has been selling like crazy during the summer. I'll just put it on now because now it's the end of summer and I'm leaving because
Mhm.
I'm going somewhere. But
And
now
that
you gotta
education on
understand.
price too,
Yes.
Yeah.
because there is that difference between a summer price and a winter price,
Yes.
or fall price.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Winter,
there-
fall,
there can
yeah.
be, again, I've seen just really depends on
It depends on
the
the property
house. Yeah.
and the location.
And the location. That's
Yeah.
true.
So
The other thing you get more time of is you get more time from your real estate agent, because we tend to slow down a little bit in the winter months.
Yeah.
More time from your lender, because they
Yep.
don't have as many applications to process.
yep,
More
they can
time
walk you
from
through this stuff. Yeah.
inspections. You can usually schedule an inspection pretty quickly. Everything
Vendors.
tends to slow down a little
Vendors are more available to come out and actually do repairs
Yep.
that week instead of having to wait a couple weeks
Yes.
and things of that nature. So that slowdown does give you an advantage on both sides, I think, because even for sellers that are needing those other individuals like the handyman or HVAC individuals, those individuals are going to be a lot more available at that time than in the summer when they're running around like crazy, and you're probably going to have to wait a week or two for things to get done. So,
Which ultimately allows you to close sooner. As long as everything fits in, appraisers,
yes,
title company can close sooner, move in sooner, and everybody's happy.
everybody's happy, ready for the new year in a new home. You can be in a brand new home for Thanksgiving right now.
Yeah.
You can be in a new home for Christmas,
For Halloween.
for Halloween.
Hit
if
us
you
up
want
right
to.
now. We can get you a new home for Halloween.
Yeah.
Not brand new,
Not brand new. Well,
but new to you.
Well,
New,
maybe based on when some of these new builds are closing.
well, yeah, depending if they have things available and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's a great time for the buyers. There's a lot more advantages for the buyers during this time frame.
Yes, during this time of year.
Yes, and I know
if the
it's
seller
I know
plays
it's
it
a little
right-
bit more stressful because kids are in school. The holidays are coming around and stuff like that, and you're probably preparing for that stuff. But if you want to throw some more stress in there and buy a house, you're going to save money, I think, and time.
I think so. And if the seller plays it right, they can benefit from this slowed down market just as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. But you got to talk to a real estate agent to find out what those advantages are, how to do it.
That's specific to your area and your home.
Yep, exactly. That'll be us. Anyway, so we want to thank you for joining us this week on our Tidbit Thursday. I'm trying.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Oh, happy birthday, Dad. I didn't know it was his birthday.
Now you do.
Now I do. But anyway, thank you for joining us this week on Tidbit Thursday. We're trying to keep them short. Next week, we are talking about, what was that? Renting your home if you couldn't sell. Because a lot of individuals try to put their house on the market during the summer months, and for some reason it didn't sell. But you're no longer living in the property. So are you going to keep it as on the sell market, or are you going to turn it into a rental? So at least you're getting some money back as an investment. So, and we get a lot of those, especially military individuals that, for me, I call them default investors. They have no way of selling it at that point because either they didn't have no equity or whatever, or they just didn't want to sell it. So they put their house on the rental market. So we're going to talk about that next week. So other than that, have a good week.
Yeah.
We have a good week then.
Catch us on the G Meet.
On the G Meet. That's an inside joke. Never mind.
Hey,
G
Laura.
bye.